Don't you know that from coast to coast, where there's dope, there's hope, where there's dope, there's hope. Sheesh. Wait, is it lit? Don't.
Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls,
cats and dogs. Yo, we ain't do that in a minute. I feel like, oh shit, what's popping?
Yeah.
It's February already?
It's still February.
This is crazy.
You know
we already into it, 2021. You know what I'm saying?
BHM.
We feeling good. The Q Plus community is thriving, man. Y'all been bringing this music right, left, back to back, and we loving it. We here to listen to it. We're gonna decipher it. We're gonna go through it. We digesting it, and we're gonna let y'all know what we think. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna definitely let you know.
Guess what?
What happened?
We got a sponsor today for this episode.
Do?
Yeah, we got a special sponsor, man.
Daddy came through with the bag.
Yeah. And they also are newly hitched couples. Shout out to the newlyweds.
Shout out
the Baileys
to the
Mr.
newlyweds.
Buzzcutter, Chad Bailey.
Yes.
This episode 25 of the Herbal Tea Podcast, is brought to you by none other than Pink Gorilla Entertainment and the Pink Institute, man.
And the Pink Institute. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them, man. We appreciate y'all, man. We gonna get right into it because you already know what it is.
It's gonna be a show, y'all.
It's a lot of music on the horizon.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get into it, man. Who we got first on the docket?
Who do we have? I think that would be you, sir. What's happening?
Mr. Xander Haze, ladies and gentlemen. Xander Haze, spelled Xander Haze. There's actually another Xander Haze out there. So when I was doing my research, my Googles, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to figure out who is this Xander Haze? Who is this Q Plus artist that has come across our table? You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure it out. And I'm like, this don't look like the same dude that is on the song that I'm listening to.
Power
he has a
Love.
picture on the song. And I'm like, let
me talk my shit.
Yeah, it's like, hold up, who is this dude? It's some R&B singer / rapper from Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wait, hold up. I'm like, who this? But it's a whole.
It's for me.
It's a totally different person. So I'm like, this is not him. I couldn't find any information on him, fam. Like, this is crazy. Like, I couldn't find it. I went on the Instagram. I looked at his SoundCloud. He didn't have a bio up there.
Right.
He didn't have a personal webpage. He had a link tree in his Instagram.
Yeah.
But it only led me to music. It was like another LGBTQ playlist. But it wasn't anything personal. I didn't get a blurb, no paragraph on him. I couldn't find anything. Did you find? Because I know this is your bag. Like, I'm Sherlock Tone when it comes to the trees and all that. But, like, when it comes to artist outreach, that's your specialty.
Wait a minute.
So let me, like, did you find anything? Like, I don't even know. I couldn't find out where he's from. I couldn't find out how long he's been doing music.
You didn't? Okay.
I mean, he's clearly a Q Plus artist. That's the one thing I do know. But I couldn't find anything. So I'm like, let me see if you found anything.
He's definitely a Q Plus artist. And I did do a little bit of artist outreach, you know, to the young boy. But see, I didn't know. I did look around for some information, and I came up kind of empty as well.
Okay.
But there's only a couple of things that I've seen. I believe he's based in California.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the most notable thing that I had seen about him was that he had a picture where he, had a dramatic weight loss situation.
I did see that. I saw that as well.
And so I asked him, about that, and he told me he lost 160 pounds.
Wow.
Because he had surgery, and, to recover from the surgery, he needed to lose a little bit of weight, and also his motivation was because he wanted to become a pop star and to have the stamina to be a pop star, to perform and breath control and to be athletic. You kind of got to lose a little bit of pounds there.
Makes a lot of sense.
So that's what I got from your man.
So you got a little bit more than me. So you actually hit him up and reached out to him.
Yeah, he's out there. You know what I'm saying? Have to give him a little bit of follow, give him a little bit of love, let him know he's gonna appear.
I appreciate that. Because I'm on the opposite end of that spectrum. I'm not hitting these motherfuckers up.
What?
I'm not hitting nobody up. I feel like it's a slap in the face if I take a liking or interest in your music and I go to find out about you, and I gotta scowl and crawl like I work for the New York Times trying to get a lead story, and can't find no info on you. Like, I feel like, are you trying to be elusive? Like, you don't got a SoundCloud burb, you don't got no bio, you don't got no website, no nothing. You ain't got nothing in your Instagram that's really letting me know anything. Like, why I gotta look and do research to find out about you?
Well, you know,
with all of these artists out here, it's too much competition for that. Like, we in a different era. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing it. I'm telling you. Y'all better be lucky for Peasy, because Peasy,
hold on,
be grateful. I hope they grateful. I hope when you reach out, they like, yo, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like, I hope they like that, because people not doing, like, the average casual listener is not doing all that to find out about some person that they just happen to hear, bumped into your music. Now you pique my interest. I want to know a little bit more. Why I gotta go?
But hold on. If you'll allow me to,
do your thing.
Well, a lot of these artists may not know to do these things. And then on top of that, a lot of artists, and you definitely might relate, a lot of them are introverts and a lot of them are shy. So maybe they don't give away so much information because they don't really even know themselves enough, or maybe there's parts of their life that they may not be so open, and maybe it's a lot of them still finding themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give a little bit of room.
That's adding to my point. I'm gonna give you all of the room. I'm not hitting you up. That's what I'm saying.
But if you're gonna
but that's what I take from it. If you don't have nothing up, you give me the vibe that, okay, you're not ready. You don't want to talk. You don't want to be found. You don't want. Take what you're gonna take from the music. That's all I'm giving you. Which, that's cool. That's all I'm gonna take. You probably need some room, and I'm gonna give you that room, and I'm gonna let you. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going on the music. I'm gonna talk about the music, but I'm gonna take what you're giving me.
We also are journalists, and part of journalism is doing
I never
research.
I never said I was a
So you kind of have to accept a little bit of the responsibility to find out. You don't have to accept that, but part of podcasting and part of doing what you do is having knowledge of what you're going to talk about.
Yes.
So you do have to do a certain amount of research.
Guess what?
And reaching out.
Guess what we talking about?
We talking about what? These artists?
The music.
We are talking about the music.
I know about the music, so that's what we're going to talk about. So let's get into that, right?
Let's do that.
Talk My Shit. That's the name of the track. Featuring Trauma.
Big Mama Trauma?
Yeah, shout out to Trauma. Came out January 19, 2021, of course. 3 minutes, 11 seconds.
Okay.
Single. I didn't see a lot. Did you see, did do any research on the discography? I didn't see a lot of other music.
He does have some previous singles.
He has some other stuff out.
He seems pretty new.
Okay, yeah.
He seems pretty new.
That's the sense I got as well. Yeah. So that might be another reason for the, lack of
information.
press or information, or like, which I get. I'm gonna just get to it, man.
What we got?
We're gonna have to call Sir Reginald out here early, man. He making an early appearance.
Early.
Yeah, man. He been working out lately.
He has.
2021 has been his year.
I'm surprised that you're calling him out.
Listen, man, I had to go ahead and give it to Reggie. I gave it to Reggie 28%. It was underwhelming for me. I was like, I hit a title. It's like, Talk My Shit. I'm like, okay, shit. Well, go ahead then. Like, let me give you, you got the stage, you got the floor. Let me hear you. Go ahead, talk your shit. I heard the beat that came on. It was like, it's cool. It didn't, it didn't really pop for me. It didn't give me any feels. It didn't really, it didn't smack me in the face. It didn't give me any extra vibes. Just a cool little beat. I could hear it like, like background music almost. But I was like, all right, let me hear what he gonna do with it. And he got on, and he sounds decent, but his presence wasn't really there for me. And I felt like he was doing like a fast rap flow without really saying much. It was one of those like, okay, I'm really rapping, but I'm not really, you're not really talking your shit, my G. Like, I didn't really get that. That's not what came across to me. And then the hook was kind of like, I don't know. It didn't do it for me. Like, I kind of just, like, it really ain't too much for me to say. I was underwhelmed by all aspects of the song. It just didn't really do it for me. And especially for this to be my first time coming across Xander Haze, not really being able to find any information. I'm underwhelmed by the song. I can't find any information on you to make me a little bit more interested in the music. So it's kind of like, it ain't really do it for me. And then Trauma came on. She kind of stole the show a little bit, even though she not really saying much either. But her presence was a little bit more there. And then when she, she dropped the beat, it was like, no, like, we're the queens and you're the, like, she dropped the beat like she was dropping a bar. And it was like, all right, Trauma, it wasn't, it was like,
she was setting up a moment for you.
Yeah, but
and
the moment passed, it came and went, and I missed it.
living.
Yeah, it came and went, and I missed it. But, Sir Reginald James is in the building, 28%, man. I'm interested. What did you think?
Well, I'm glad you asked. What percentage did you give it for Reginald?
28%.
You gave it 28%.
28%.
I actually was not that far off from you.
Okay.
I just was on the other side of the track, so I gave it a 30 mid.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And a lot of the same reasons for you that you had mentioned.
Wow, that's very close.
Are reasons that I felt the same way. There was a whole lot of, posturing, but there was not a whole lot of substance.
Great word.
Yeah.
Great word.
That is definitely what I heard. It is that, kind of basic fast rapping, putting words together to fill in syllables, but not really giving you any kind of content. Nothing. You definitely got the rap, styles, kind of a little bit of basicness going on. A lot of
the no-nos hit you with the note, like the lyrical, spiritual,
miracle type situation.
Miracle,
it's kind of been written off of the rap dictionary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you start off with that, kind of shows a little bit of like newness to the rap situation. So you got to step that up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And also, I noticed that one of the hooks, it's a little bit behind the beat too much.
Yes.
You feel me?
Okay. See, I thought that was just me on that one.
No,
Because I heard that and I was
not
like,
you.
is it because the first one is on, so that's
first
how it
one's
throws you
on.
off, and then it was like a second one. They slid it, however they slid it. It was like
And the way they was rhyming, it was a little bit behind the beat, and so it was extra behind the beat.
It was
extra
an extra little
noticeable.
lag. It was yeah.
So that kind of points off for that. You know what I'm saying? The beat is kind of plain anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? There's improvements that could be seen all throughout.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, our grades weren't too far. Reginald James, 28%. And you gave it what? 30%?
I gave it a 30 mid.
Okay, so tiptoeing right on the scale, right on the borderline.
Right on the
you know
other
what I'm
line.
saying?
Borderline.
Right. Shout out to Solange. You know what I'm saying?
Man. That's Brandy. What you talking
But
about?
I'm talking about Solange, though. The borderline seat at the table. See, she got her own borderline. Look, see?
I thought you was trying to shade the queen.
No, I wasn't.
The
Not at
vocal
all.
Bible.
I would never. I would never. I would never.
Shout out.
But listen, shout out to Xander Haze, man. Talk my shit, featuring Trauma. Go check it out and let us know what you think. Because, wasn't too, it was all right over here.
So you let us know. Maybe we bugging.
Yeah.
For sure.
Confirm it or deny it. Let us know. You know what I'm saying? Who we got next? Who you bringing up, man?
Next, bringing to the stage, let's bring Estevan The God on down.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Estevan The God.
Estevan The God.
Yeah, you got a lot of balls calling yourself Estevan The God.
I'll let you know exactly why that is.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Please.
Estevan The God is a Houston, Texas born and bred and proud out rapper, singer, songwriter, and producer who has been doing music for a bit over a decade now.
Okay.
He was inspired to do music when he got a hold of his aunt's mixtape. I think his aunt rap name was $1 Million Girl.
Okay, auntie.
You know what I'm saying? And Estevan comes from his middle name.
Okay.
So that's where you get that from.
Okay, Estevan The God. Listen,
Estevan
I ain't
The
mad
God
at the confidence.
situation.
I love it.
There you go. First album, Guapo, that dropped in 2013. It features the distinction of having a very early Megan Thee Stallion verse on it.
I mean, that's pretty big. I saw that. I was like, oh, he had on a posse cut.
He
too.
had on a posse cut.
Ooh.
And if you haven't heard that, I would definitely advise you to check that out. That's the what is it? It is the
Guapo?
Grimes remix. It's on Guapo.
Oh, it's on the Guapo.
It's on the Guapo album, and you know, she kind of came through on that. And
she went off. She even threw. I heard an eh. She had one of those in there early.
she was early with it.
This is like what, 2012 or something like that. 2013.
So now you see the roots of where it was. You see that she was who she was before she got to be somebody everybody know. But back to Estevan, you know, shout out to him. He has released a handful of albums and EPs, including Flames 2018, Rose Gold same year, Aquaman in 2019, Texas Ranger, Sugar Daddy, both in 2020. And now that brings us to the current EP that he has. He has some new singles out, but I think his current EP that we're going to review is H-Town Prince.
Yes.
It was released on December 18th.
That's my niece's birthday.
2021 or 2020. I wrote that wrong.
I wrote it 21 too. I wrote the same. I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, I wrote the same.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Sagittarius.
Hey man, once you get used to writing 21, that's it.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to fun fact.
Yeah.
Guapo Radio. You know what I'm saying? He has his own kind of podcast situation.
Oh shit, go on in.
It's available on Apple Podcasts. I've listened a couple of episodes.
Okay.
And we're gonna discuss this topic, but he definitely gets right to the chase on this latest episode where he discusses the beef with Young KSB and pretty much everybody else.
Oh, he gets into it.
He does.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? After a 2-year hiatus, though. So you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But, you know, back to the EP, H-Town Prince, 4 tracks. You feel me?
4-piece. 4-piece McNugget.
I gave it a 58 mid.
Ooh, interesting.
I gave it a 58 mid.
Okay.
We'll get into that real quick.
Well, let us know why.
I was kind of feeling the EP. I feel his influences. He names a lot of his influences. Lil' Kim, Trina, and pretty much a who's who of Houston, Texas rap. You know what I'm saying? Like Fat Pat and UGK, of course.
Yeah.
You know, Pimp C, rest in peace to him.
Absolutely.
So his influence is definitely there. From the first track, you hear the Still Tipping in 447.
You can hear it's right there. So
it's there in this draw.
Violins, you can't deny
You can't really miss that one. And he also did something interesting, which I've never heard nobody do. The next 2 tracks are both kind of retakes of both versions of Junior Mafia's Get Money. So I thought that was
back when you did a remix. It was an actual remix. So you had a whole nother beat. It was a whole nother song.
Yeah. So
he took the original and the remix and redid them
and redid those songs.
That was fly. That was
dope. Kind of how you did that. And the highlight. It's actually hard for me to pick the highlight because I mean I like the original. I like what he did with the original version of Get Money. Okay. The second track, which is So Fresh, So Clean. Yeah. So fresh, so clean. And then that hook was kind of cute.
Henny on the rocks.
Henny on the rocks.
Step up to the scene.
Sing it to the side. You know what I'm saying? It kind of came through. I thought, this is what frustrated me about this. Like, the track is moving. Like, I love the way they did the beat here. Medino Green's verse, I don't know what's going on with the mixing. He was mad low for me. So I was like,
you could tell they wasn't in the same studio. Clearly.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be like that, but that's kind of a production thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And although I didn't like the Get Money remix joint that he did after because it's a little bit more generic, Rico Casadon definitely showed up. So it's kind of the highlight of the track, which is kind of why I gave it a mid, because you got a couple rappers that kind of out-rapped you a little bit, but the way you consistently held down the EP was kind of banging.
Okay.
So, you know, even the last track, what is the last track on it?
H-Town
Prince. You know what I'm saying?
I walk around like that Prince.
Right? That's just kind of winning.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute. You know what I'm saying? So 58% mid. It wasn't too original. Like, that's the risk you take when you kind of, you know, go for your idols and you kind of want to remake their joints too much. If you got too much of that, then you kind of come across a little bit inauthentic. So, and I'm not sure if this H-Town Prince joint is a remake. It doesn't sound like it, which is why I thought it stood out. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my whole take on the EP.
Okay. 58% mid.
Yeah, pretty much strong
Interesting.
project. But that's where we at.
Shout out to the H-Town Prince.
Shout out to the H-Town Prince.
I actually, the H-Town Prince, that joint that's probably my favorite joint on a 4-piece.
Walk around like that.
Yeah,
Prince.
I like that joint a lot. It give me that little 3 6 Mafia vibe a little bit. I like them pianos, that bass is airy. He's kind of, this is his pocket. That's his tempo. You could tell he's at home. On this joint.
Sure.
I mean, my grade though overall, I gave it a 38% mid.
Okay.
I enjoyed the project, which is why I gave it a mid.
But
he has a lot of presence. He has a lot of personality.
Yeah,
I love his voice.
Yeah,
but the bars and the skill is very lackluster. It's not there for me. He has some good ideas, which I like. Like you said, I never heard anybody take, both of the original and the remix of songs and flip both of them on the same project. And then he also had another flip with the Tippin' for Foes, H-Town nod, which was dope. But I mean, it's more presence than anything. Like, he's not really saying too much. It's not diverse content. All 3 of the songs, he pretty much talking his shit. The whole project.
Bluster.
Yeah. And the features were cool. They were decent. Like you said, Rico showed up. I thought he was dope. I thought that's a great compliment to his style. Like, I feel like they kind of similar in style and energy and presence on, a song. But I think Rico definitely showed up and showed out. And it's funny because we always say about the features, like, who showed up and showed out. But that's kind of part of what hip-hop is. It's that competitive edge. Yeah. Who kind of did their thing on the track versus who kind of, who could have stepped it up a bit.
A little bit.
And, when people take you on your own joint, it's noticeable. So it was like, But it was cool for me. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It wasn't like immediate skips for me. Nothing, no skippables. But I wasn't wowed. It was kind of just cool. Like, it's mid. I smoke it, but it's a lot of competition out there, man. Y'all gotta bring it. If you're gonna bring it, you gotta bring it. And like I said, like, it wasn't that much diversity in the content, so you could have probably just gave me a 2-piece or a 1-piece, and it gave just about as much the same damage. So that was my opinion. 38% mid. You got a 58% mid.
Yep,
Estevan The God.
Shout out to Estevan.
H-Town Prince. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's what it is. Who we got next coming up to the stage?
We got a little.
You see how it went right into it, too? I like how it just smoothed out. You know what I'm saying? I like when the playlist works out, how it's going to work out.
Right.
I got to say this right. It looks like Neo 10. So it's Neo 10Y. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But it's actually a word. It's called Neoteny. Neoteny, that's how it looks, but Neoteny. So he kind of put a spin on the actual word.
Right.
So he's a Q+ artist. You know what I'm saying? Coming to the stage from London. If you wikied him, it says he's a multidisciplinary artist.
Right.
Which I think he means, he pretty much expresses his art in multiple mediums. You know what I'm saying? He's an actual artist. He does paint. He does fashion. He does music. So all types of forms of art, that's what he does. And, he kind of, he's a professor at. He's a pro at.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? He does a jack of all trades of some sort, if you will.
Yeah, jack of all trades.
He's a big fan of numerology. So that's where the 1 and 0 comes from. You know what I'm saying? He kind of took the 1 and 0. That's supposed to stand for balance. He on his old binary shit, the 1s and 0s and all of that. He was classically trained in piano and vocals, and he also studied law and French, at a university in London. So that's kind of crazy. His real name is Nick Takar. I think it's Takar, but it's Thakkar. And he's out here with it. He teamed up with this London-based designer to create this non-binary clothing brand. It's a clothing line.
Love.
Yeah, like he does his thing. He has a bunch of celebrities that kind of modeled for it. his first single dropped in 2016, and it actually debuted at a Tom Ford party. Like, it's like, for real, like that's your first shit. Like, you just
that's how people moving in.
Yeah, like that's how people catch wind of your shit. Like that's kind of crazy. So he out here with it. The word neoteny, it actually means the delaying or slowing down of physiological development of an organism. And with how that translates into humans, it's kind of like how we develop like bigger heads as opposed to like the apes, who was supposed to be our cousins, distant relatives.
Right.
We got bigger brains so we could develop, emotional capabilities and different things like that. So that's kind of that process. That's what it's called. And he took that and he flipped it and he added the 10Y into it. And it's like, okay, that's a little okay. So he already on his artsy shit. You look at his visuals, you could see he's on that type of time. Like, he's not playing around.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He takes it seriously. He dropped a 3-part music video that featured live sex and a burning Trump mask. So like that kind of tells you as well, like what kind of type of time he on. Like, he on his art shit for real. Like, he not out here playing with you. Like, he's wearing it on his sleeve. He bleeding for his art. You know what I'm saying? Like, he not playing. Have you ever heard of him before? Like, has he come across your path by any chance?
He has not come across my path, but I definitely had an interesting time getting into his art. I definitely like the fact that he had Angel Haze wear some of his clothing on the fashion show.
The non-binary line.
Yeah, on the non-binary. And I was actually looking it up, but I think it's something he just was doing for a few years, because he stopped pretty much right before he started doing music. Yeah, so I was definitely Googling it. I was trying to see, because you don't see that a lot. You don't see, people are just now kind of realizing that fluidity can happen with fashion.
Absolutely.
And I've always been a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's too bad that he's not continuing to do those clothes, because they look kind of fly.
Oh, man.
Shout out to him for that.
Well, maybe he'll bring it back. Maybe,
There's a demand for it.
We'll see what happens. Well, right now, it ain't about the fashion. It's about this music.
True.
And we getting into it. He dropped this single, Shortcut to World Peace.
Shortcut.
I mean, that title alone. They out here with the titles on this episode for real.
They're not playing.
They come and talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? H-Town Prince. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here with. I'm a Prince. Shortcut to World Peace. That's a heavy ass title for a song. Came out 1st of January, top of the year. You know what I'm saying? 2021. 3 minutes, 46 seconds. I'm going to give it to you like this, man. Sir Reginald, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. He gonna.
Ooh.
I'm gonna need him to come out here again.
Reginald coming back?
He went sat down for a little bit, got some water, but he gonna need to come back out, man. I wasn't really feeling this joint. And you know my palette is like wide. Like, I fuck with a lot of different types of music. I fuck with a lot of different types of artists. So don't try to peg me on some I only fuck with certain shit. I can't fuck. Nah. It ain't that. I wasn't really fucking with it. It's very alt pop, electric, emo. You know what I'm saying? He giving it to you on that front. The beat was cool. I wasn't crazy about the change up. That change up threw me. There you go right there. You know what I'm saying? The change up, the key he went into, I was like, I wasn't feeling it. It sounded more like it could be like on a soundtrack for like a Lord of the Rings type.
Sound like ghost music.
Yeah, it wasn't really. It wasn't pleasurable. Like, I didn't enjoy listening to it. And then the heavy topic you giving me, you got to make that palatable, B. Like, that's not something that we want to talk about. And I want to get too heavy. And if I am gonna get too heavy, it gotta be either jamming or you gotta really be giving it to me. The vocal performance was cool, but it's like a singy, talky, yelly type style, which is, I don't know, man. It just wasn't connected for me. It was. It wasn't giving it to me, man. Like, you know what I'm talking about. The strainy. It was. Yeah, man. So 29% Reginald James for me. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling with it. What did you think? I'm very interested in this. What did you think? Give it to me, man.
Oh, shit.
Give it to me.
All right. So Upon first glance, I love the artwork of the song.
He has appeal.
I love the artwork.
He has appeal.
He does. This song was a mid for me, 51%.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Because I think that my least favorite part of the song was his voice.
Ooh.
And that's what it is. The production actually sounds.
It saved it.
It has a lot of quality to it. It has good quality to it.
It's thematic.
Yeah. And it does sound like movie music. Like it's something that could play in a drama, in a moving,
commercial
sequence.
Yeah.
It might be a montage type background noise type thing. So I thought it was well produced in that way. So I mean, it could work as movie music or as sound design type music, because you need that type of music to kind of doesn't really stand out. It plays in the background and it sets a mood.
Yeah.
It's very dramatic. It's big.
Gives
as a bop, it's not a bop at all. It's not a bop.
Far from a bop.
But I just gave it points because I really like the quality. I like the sad piano, and I give a lot of points to it because some people out here can't even get that right.
Yeah.
So I gave you, I gave points for that. But
it is well produced. It had moods. It had different.
It had a
levels.
mood. I didn't really hear the shortcut to world peace, to be honest with you, but that's because I was distracted by the voice. The voice was a little bit too strainy. Like, I don't know what he was giving.
I heard it, and I heard the
sound
lyrics,
constipated.
And it wasn't,
But But that's where we at.
So what did you give it? A 51%?
51 mid.
And I gave it a 29% Reggie. Okay, shit. Damn, when the last time I had two Reggies on the same show?
You brought Reggie
man,
2 for 2.
Hey, man.
That's
he
different normally.
We've been working him out, man. Listen, that's kind of what I'm on, man. I ain't really, if it ain't moving me, it ain't moving me. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
Reginald James, 29%. You got a 51% mid. Neo 10Y, man. Or Niatni. However you choose to go with it. Shortcut to world peace. Go check it out. Let us know what you think.
See if you find it and, let us know, because it didn't translate.
It didn't translate. I like that. It did translate. That's a great way to put it. All right, man. So, who do we got up next for the ally of the day? You know what time it is.
Is it time for the ally of the day? Hey, ally of the day.
Who's next? Come on, man. Bring them up. Bring them up to the stage. Who we
What's
got?
What's going on
Who we
out
got?
here?
Who we bringing? Who's the lucky contendant?
So the ally of the day needs no fucking introduction.
We
always do this.
We really do. We do say this a lot, but today it's like, it's kind of different.
It really is different.
You already know what it is.
It's hitting different. But might know her as Body. You know what I'm saying? You might know her as Belle Khalees.
Come on.
Almanzar. Or you might know her as Cardi B.
Belle Khalees.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. The one and only.
The one and only. I mean, if you don't know who she is, you have to be a baby, because she kind of really been popping.
You just don't
She's
listen to
been
music.
the thing that's been popping for the past three or so years.
At least.
But multi-platinum, award-winning Bronx rapper who rose from reality TV to pretty much a superstar.
Absolutely.
And that's about it.
Pretty much it.
We kind of had her on the show before because we did WAP.
Roundabout ways.
And I believe I introduced her very, very extensively at that point. Mm-hmm. But what I don't think I did was I didn't really say why she's an ally.
Okay.
So here's what I'll do for you.
There we go.
I'll pretty much lay it to you pretty straight.
We'll break it down now.
She's an ally basically because her sister is gay, openly gay. Hennessy, Carolina, you heard of her?
Come on,
She
Henny.
be around.
Henny Lana.
You know what I'm saying? And pretty much we kind of give a lot of weight to family, connections, because all I can say is my family did not approve of my lifestyle or sexuality or, orientation, they probably wouldn't be allies.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how that go.
Yeah.
She got this new single. I'm sure some of y'all have heard of it. It's called Up.
Come on.
And
man.
it's up and it's up and it's up and it's stuck.
I mean,
it came out on February 4th, 2021.
February 5th.
February 5th. That was the first Friday, right? I misread.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, she's a mid-60.
Damn,
She's
straight to it.
I'm not going to waste too much time. She gave you the same Cardi that she's been giving you. It's pretty much her in her bag.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I dig the beat. I see what she did. The only thing that's different about this is maybe, it's not even the presentation. The presentation's kind of the same.
Well, that's interesting because you gave it a 60. The 60 can teeter on mid or
and loud.
So you gave it a 60%.
I gave it a mid because she ain't really changed. She ain't really like reinventing anything or reinventing the wheel. You feel me? But it's good enough to work for her, and pretty much, you know, she's kind of been gone for a while. You know, I'd say relatively.
Now, you know
what I'm saying? She had Press that came out in 2018 or some shit like that.
Okay.
And then she didn't really drop any music until like WAP. That became a thing. And you know, since that time, you kind of have seen probably her get a little bit better as far as like her confidence or her delivery. But the beats, I mean, they're top notch. She got pretty much the cream of the crop producers. They're gonna give her what fits her. So that's kind of really how that works.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's up and it's stuck. And have you seen the video?
I mean, when it's up, when it's up, then it's stuck.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see the video. I mean, what did you give it? A 60% mid?
60% mid.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you pretty much on all of your bullet points. I gave it a 70% loud, actually.
Okay.
And, you know, the things you fought her for, I kind of not give her credit for, but it's hard to kind of do the same thing you've done and still make it sound dope and still make it a bop. Like you said, this will still work. You've heard it. It's nothing different than what she's always done. She's giving you the same shit. She popping her shit. The thing I give her the credit for, she got the one-liners in there, right? The beat is fire. It's up-tempo. It's hype. Nobody else is really putting out music that's a caliber artist that she is. Like you said, she's a star out here. Everybody know who she is. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers been holding back. She's coming out. The video is, you know, I feel like everybody's doing the same video now. Like, they all doing the same video. This is pretty much the same video as WAP. This is like Body Yaddy Yaddy. Like, the same. They all doing the same video.
Lot of colors.
If you know how to dance and you got a fat ass, you getting some choreography, mad colors, mad looks, and then that's it, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And the video is great. It's a great video.
She thick in this video.
She bodying it. I love when she jump on like the other chicks like thighs and they do the rope joint, like they body that shit.
Yo,
it's dope, but it's like, I mean, it's the same looks. You know what I'm saying? It looks like the same person doing the videos. But
she thick.
The song, it gets you hype. Like, when I hear this shit and it come on, it make me hype. Like, it made me want to kind of go. It made me want to go, damn it. It made me want, like, where's it at? Where's the club? I want a margarita right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get up on something real quick. You know what I'm saying?
You know why
and then she breaks it down, the Bentley bad, Birkin baddie, Brit the bad. Yo, she can rap. Like, she raps her ass off. That's what I feel like people sleep on her. Cause they like, all right, chicks don't be writing their own shit, boo. I don't know if she writing her own shit. I don't know anything about that. But as far as the delivery, the way she come across, and the performance, as we say, she performs the hell out of these songs, and I give her credit for that.
She's definitely a star.
Yeah, she is.
But you know.
But it is typical Barty. You know what I'm saying? It's typical Cardi B. It's very formulaic, but the formula works. And if you do it right, I feel like you can't really get nothing less than like a loud. Like, if you pull off the formula, it's a formula for a reason. Like, it's gonna work. People gonna love it. It's bopping. And if you do it right, everybody can't do it right. That's the thing. Everybody don't got the tools to pull off the formula because it take a lot of tools. But she got all of it, and she delivers on this one, man. I gotta give it up to her. 70% loud. You got a 60% mid. How you feeling? You look like you pondering something over there. What you think?
Well, you know what I was gonna say is the fact that since the song came out, my roommate, y'all don't know my roommate where I live at, He loves Cardi.
Yeah.
So I already knew he was going to play her out because he did it when she first dropped, and he did it with WAP, and he doing it with this song. So it's like I guess I can't really enjoy the record the way I would want to.
I hear you.
Or get excited about it because this nigga's playing the song till like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. But that's a personal problem.
That is a personal problem.
At the
that
same
like a
time,
me issue.
at the same time, though, I just wish, because I mean, I get what you're saying about lyricism, and I get what you're saying about delivery. I don't know. I just kind of look for something different the second time around, and she has been going. Her last album was 2018.
It's a single though.
It is, but this is supposed to be the leader for the album.
But you got to give it to her. Her album, she had a lot of different joints on her album.
She did.
Like, she diversified the hell out of that album. It wasn't just one note Barty. It wasn't just strip club music. So you got to give it at least, all right, hit the album first, because this is only the single. She's just giving you, smacking you in the face. You know what I'm saying? She got to grab your attention. It should definitely grab your attention.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Something.
I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with it. Hey, well, let us know what you think. 70% loud, 60% mid. Hey,
is she thick in this video though?
It's Cardi B. She's super thick, and she got the new tat. The new tat is blaring. You know what I'm saying? She got the shit all.
I thought it was just me, and I'm just saying you already know what it is.
Come on, man. She got that the quarantine 15,
the quarantine 15, and the baby fat.
Yeah, she threw it on.
And
man.
I'm kind of liking that. I really like it because she was looking like a little girl.
Yammy gang all day,
but you know she grew into that.
Yeah, nah, I fuck with Cardi, man. I fuck with her like, in general.
It's all love.
I'm glad she happy and love. Shout out to her and Offset, man. And family
shout out.
Doing their thing. Go check it out. Let us know what you think. Cardi B.
Is it stuck?
On all streaming platforms. Is it up? And it's up. And it's up. And it's stuck. And it's up. Yo.
Is it up? Or is
they
it
did their thing, man. All right, man. So, you know, it's about that time. Gonna have to go ahead and head over to the Skreetz. Oh, man. So we done stumbled out of the ally of the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We done wrapped up the Q Plus artists.
Yeah.
Who've been killing it out here.
They
you know what I'm saying? Dropping banger after banger, project after project.
Allies.
Getting it up.
Up and they stuck.
You know what I'm saying? Now we about to take it to the motherfucking streets.
Yeah.
What's going on out here?
Man.
You been hitting the pavement lately or what?
I have been hitting the pavement lately, man. The Skreetz is back on fire. They never really stopped being on fire. But this is your street correspondent, the real Peasy.
Of course.
And I'm here to give you some kind of report. Now, I didn't get through a lot of the things that I wanted to discuss last time.
Okay.
So I thought I would bring some of those things back up.
Back to the table.
So you know what I'm saying? Allow me to reintroduce myself. Have you heard about this B-Hawk and Melly B situation?
I have, most certainly.
Man,
very interesting. Very interesting.
It is a very interesting situation when you consider that during season 3 of The Circle, they were like Kiki, best buds,
I was
best
gonna
of
say,
friends.
let the people know who B-Hawk and Melly B are.
B-Hawk is sort of like she's sort of like a model, socialite, and content provider, or not content provider, but content producer.
Was on Pose.
She was on Pose. Or they were on Pose. They are transgender identity, and they identify as non-binary, but they go by the pronouns she and they. Okay. So just let that be clear. And Melly B is he. You already know who that is. I think you might, but
they were both on The Circle.
They were both on The Circle season 3, and you know they got to know each other, and you know some things popped off, and. Now they beefing, and it's not.
Well, apparently they're filming
the next season of The Circle, right, in Atlanta.
Yeah, let the people know what's going on.
I mean, I didn't think that those details were kind of that relevant, just because I think the whole nature of the beef itself is retarded, and I'm, you know, it is what it is. It's stupid. It's a really, really stupid thing considering. Like what it is, where it came from, and how it's being presented. And I don't really like what I see and what I saw was going on. I had, because you know what I'm saying, I'm not really stuck there. I had personal beef with Melly B, but it wasn't really personal. he just disagreed with the way I was making him out to be on the show that he volunteered to be on. He didn't like my reviews that I did. You can go check those out on my YouTube page. King I.K.P. for president. You already know what it is. I did reviews for every episode during that season, and I was pretty much just kind of giving you what Melly gave us. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted to be the bully, quote unquote. He wanted to be this kind of character that's always starting shit and always stressing people out, got people going into real life situations, and it's not even called for. So this right here, this whole beef is pretty much an extension of everything that he's been about since pretty much he's been on the circle. And to my knowledge, he's been on since maybe, season 1, 2?
I think 2.
So it's more of the same shit. And the way B-Hawk is doing it, I saw the video that she said that she posted, you know, about what happened and how that situation came about. And I read it as, okay, maybe you're filming for the show. You have the right to be in that house too. And, you know, but at the same time, you had Melly B and y'all was going back and forth with each other. Y'all was beefing with each other online. And, you know, y'all already knew, Melly B was already going to be in Atlanta. So you decided to show yourself up there too. That was your choice. You knew the risks of what was going on. And then come to find out it was a fight, but you made it seem like as if like there was a sense of actual real urgent danger going on, and it turned out to not be something like that. And I have a problem with how you presented that, because you want to take the mantle of Mute Melly B, you want to hashtag it, you want to turn it into a whole social media campaign, you want to get on this platform, your transgender sisters are being murdered. Yes, they are being murdered every day because they're living their lives or they're trying to survive. What you're doing is entertainment. That's entertainment. That's what you're doing through and through. This is not the same thing. That is not real life. That is not your real life, because if it was real beef, it wouldn't have even got to the point where you even going to Atlanta. And matter of fact, when you even stepped to Atlanta, it'd have been on site there anyway if it was really like that. I'm just saying. I'm just calling spade a spade. I didn't really fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially on behalf of all the transgender people that have been dying and have already been died. We already talked about one that died last episode.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't no reality show shit. That wasn't no docu-series shit. So I'm just, you know, really... You
got to be careful, man.
Be careful how you wield your platform, because you have a platform, and that's the thing. That's really what's dangerous about the shit, is you have a platform. You have people listening to you. You have people looking at you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know who's looking at you. But you out here doing this clown shit? Nah, it's not for me. It's not. I don't fuck with that. So that's what that was all about. That was my whole... Did you... You know, I know kind of went on.
No, man. You pretty much covered it. I'm here on the sideline soaking it all in. I mean, I saw the same things you saw. I mean, I got the same messaging that you got. When I first saw it, it was very alarming, because I'm like, damn, like I fuck with B-Hawk. Like, we was on a season, we built a rapport. If something was to happen to B-Hawk, I would be hurt and traumatized.
Absolutely.
So when I saw that messaging, it was like, damn. The first thing that I went to is like, you know, the stream of murders. You've been hearing all of these attacks, the hate crimes and shit like that. The way it was presented, then was like, damn. Then when I saw what it was like, oh, it was kind of like, I mean, not to diminish, you know, the seriousness of somebody getting attacked. They fought. It was physical. I get it, but like, it wasn't the way, you know, you kind of made it out to seem, which was kind of, you know, I get what you say with the messaging. So.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's what's going on in the news today. The beef. It's a lot of beef in the streets.
A lot of beef, and there's still more beef going on. I'm not done with the whole beef situation.
I was gonna say,
there's
man,
plenty more.
Sheesh.
Have you heard about this young KSB and pretty much young KSB versus everybody?
Versus everybody. He need to make a shirt, pretty much. I mean,
basically,
he's out here
saying? He out
bratting at everybody.
And
I have heard though. Shout out to KSB. I'm aware of young KSB. We actually collabed on a joint that hasn't been released, an unreleased joint. So
right.
I'm well aware of who KSB.
So y'all got something in the works. Young KSB is out here firing, blasting off his 80s ass beat with his 80s sounding vocals. Like, you really sounded like you was trying to be Roxanne Shante. You taking it back there. Like,
Gramps, he giving you grandpa?
what is that? How you doing that? How you doing that at the ripe old age of 24, 25? What
Grandpa,
you doing?
uncle, nephew?
What's going on, niece? What are you doing? I understand. And then, you know what's crazy? I heard it on on Estevan The God's talk on his show.
Yeah.
What is it? Guapo Radio.
Okay.
His latest episode, season 2, episode 1. He went in on that song.
Did he?
Because it was funny as hell, and he had the same thoughts that I would have. Because I think that was my first time. I thought the first one was the one that I heard on his SoundCloud. And so, no, this one, the one he did was longer.
He did like a Control, like a Kendrick joint.
He did, and it was extra long. Like, you was trying to like go for the whole industry. Like, he had Bugs, he had Rico, he had a whole lot of rappers. It was a whole list of rappers. I lost count, but I could not get away from that delivery and how old school he sounded. He sounded like Big Freedia trying to do a diss. What's going on?
Ooh.
I mean,
okay.
And then Bugs responded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He sure did.
He was straight. You know what I'm saying? He was all right. And then Young KSB responded again.
They was going back and forth. Man.
I was not particularly too impressed by any one of them.
Yeah.
And come to find out, I think they was kind of just playing, but I'm not necessarily sure about that because
I'm not 100% sure either. I don't know what's going on, but so far it's been, everything has been on wax. It's been on wax. It's been a lyrical beef, and it's been entertaining. We haven't really seen a beef where they kind of going at it with the songs back and forth in a while. Like, I can't really think of too many instances where we had that.
I can't,
especially with people who kind of have, notable names where people might recognize or have heard of them before.
For sure.
So it's kind of interesting.
For sure.
It's dope. I love the sport of it. That's that hip hop shit. The competitive nature.
That's what it is.
And they going it in, getting these bars off, lyrical sparring.
Shout out to them. Shout out to Young KSB and shout out to Bugs Gutter and everybody that Young KSB dissed. My heart goes out to all of you.
Your heart. Not your heart. You stupid.
And I live for what y'all doing. Keep on being great, y'all. As long as y'all keep it on wax.
Yeah, man. Keep it going. Keep it entertaining. We love it.
So let's shout out our sponsor, Pink Institute, Pink Gorilla Entertainment.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to share a little bit of what they do. They are a nonprofit organization established to promote the safe space to nurture LGBTQ youth interested in entertainment business. And they started with the head of the class rap contest. And I heard that somebody might be in this building is one of the judges. I thought you might have elaborate on that. What's going on here? How's it looking for you?
I had the honor of partaking as one of the judges on the panel and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Coming through.
Nah, it was cool. It was real dope. That was actually the first time I did anything like that, like where I was actually judging a competition. But they had a competition where they put the word out and they took submissions. You had to drop like a little freestyle joint.
Right.
You had to put a video up on the IG and at Pink Institute and hashtag. I forgot what the hashtag was, but the submissions, we went through them, we reviewed them. There was a number of categories that we used to, base the criteria, as far as the metrics on what we, judge the artist as, and it was pretty dope. The artist we picked, I can't remember his name at the time, but if you go to the Pink Institute Instagram, you'll see him. He was definitely up there. Bugs definitely, he shouted him out. They had like a little IG live session where he talked about him. He congratulated him and let him know, that he won and everything. But it was me, Mike Genius. Shout out to Mike Genius and Buzz Gutter. We reviewed all of the submissions. It was about 15 submissions, that people that submitted their videos and their freestyles. It was dope, and it wasn't easy. It was some tough competition out there. It was a lot of artists that submitted, all Q+ artists, so it was dope, to be a part of that. So shout out to Pink Gorilla Entertainment and the Pink Institute.
Shout out to the Pink Institute, who this episode is sponsored by. All right? Go follow them, on Instagram at the Pink, PYNK Institute. And you already know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Rico Cassadine.
Hey.
He just won an award, the NYPS Network Award for Best Supporting Actor.
Okay,
I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I didn't.
NYPS Network was the network we were talking about that is basically a hub for all of the LGBTQ plus video content. So they gave him the honor, and that was really, really dope to see.
That's huge. That's what's up.
It is kind of a big deal.
Congrats on that.
Know, shout out to him and his role on The Mister, which is produced by A Connection TV. So go check that out. Rico Cassadine also has a partnership with Royal Emerge where he does Q&A Mondays, and he interviews different artists out in the Q plus community because we need to have platforms.
Another platform. Love it.
And, you know, places where we are giving each other our roses while we're here.
Absolutely.
And celebrating the art that we work really, really hard to put together. And I just think it's real fly. And I also heard that that individual that was doing the Pink Institute also showed up again on one of the Q&As. You know what I'm saying? Might you know about that?
Who?
Wasn't it you talking?
Oh, I showed up.
My God.
I mean, I'm out here a little bit. I'm kind of out here everywhere. I be forgetting.
All right, next.
Where I be popping. Nah, it was funny because you know, I had just kind of popped up in his live. I knew he was doing the joints, and I popped up.
Right.
And I thought it was the actual interview. So I was popping up for the Royal Merge interview. I didn't know who he was interviewing that night, but I didn't realize he actually does like an after show after the interview. Mm-hmm. So that's what I ended up popping into. And during that, what he does is whoever pops up, you know, he kind of grabs people in and, you know, asks if they want to go live and, you know, just on the spot interview. So it was spontaneous. I wasn't planning to go and do the Q&A, but I just happened to pop into the room. He was like, "Oh shit, EarthTone," and you know how they catch you before you could kind of
cut it off because you was.
I was like, "Oh shit, he caught me." I was like, "Yeah, it was goody." He was like, "Yeah, you want pop?" I was like, "Of course, you already know what it is." So you know,
trying to slide.
I brushed the curls down real quick.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna slide, but it was just like I wasn't expecting to be on stage. Like I wasn't really camera ready or none of that. So it was dope though. Shout out to Rico Cassadine.
Always
he doing his thing.
Be on. Always.
Yeah. I mean, that's the homie, so you already know what it is.
Yeah,
anybody else, I would have definitely skated. I'd have been like, bloop. Doo-doo.
All right.
And like I ain't even heard of like, nope.
No, shout out to Rico Cassadine. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is. All right. Moving on to another Q plus artist who actually is on the ticket, a candidate to run for New York City mayor.
Oh shit.
And that is Paperboy Love Prince.
Look at that, man.
You know what I'm saying? Have you heard of this individual? Have we mentioned him in the show?
We definitely have.
We talked about him before,
ambitious.
right? Okay.
He was running for what? It was Congress?
He was running for Congress.
Okay.
For his district.
Yeah, we definitely mentioned him, I think.
He lost to, you know, the incumbent. No, the incumbent is the one that stayed, right? Yeah. Nydia Velasquez.
I was about to say, you know, you the political expert.
Yeah. Incumbent, I believe, is the person that holds the seat. But look that up for yourself on Google. I might be confusing the term, but he did. All to say is that he did not win his seat for Congress, but he is running for New York City mayor. He is on New York Times, and he is one of the like 30,000 people running for New York City mayor this year. What?
30,000 people are running for mayor?
Something like that. It's a lot of people running this year. It is a lot of people. That is not normal.
I was going to say.
That is not normal. It's about as many people running for New York City mayor as there was Democrat candidates when it first started for the presidential election. There were like, I think maybe 22 Democratic candidates for the 2020 election. And this year is about the same for New York City mayor.
Okay.
And that is very, very, you know, but you already know.
Fucking
it's different because de Blasio, this is his last year. He can't run anymore.
Yeah.
So everybody's coming in and taking that spot.
30,000? Wow.
So he's up there with Andrew Yang. That's the most notable one right now.
I fuck with Andrew Yang.
Maya Wiley, she's running. I think Scott Stringer. He's the comptroller. He's basically the purse for the city.
Okay.
So, you know, people like that, people who
very
have
interesting
actual. And here's the thing though, for me, as far as him running for Congress, running as a representative, I fucks with that because your congressional district is going to be, at least the district he was running for, 100,000 people. He's basically running for like Bushwick, all the way East New York, those communities. So he's representing a good chunk of Brooklyn. So it's less people. And when you're, doing stuff for Congress, it's not something that has you out there so much. You're not necessarily like a face, like a political face, because everybody can't name their representative. You know what I'm saying? It's not that like they're always on camera. It's not like because they're busy legislating.
Yeah.
When you're
Mayor.
New York City mayor, you're basically the president of New York
That's
City,
on some Hollywood
the biggest
shit.
city in the States, if not the world.
You like a
different.
pop star.
It's pretty different. So I understand the platform that he wants to reach, but baby,
Baby, you don't want these kind of problems.
hold on. That's a different kind of thing. Like, New York is basically like everybody knows New York City. Like, we're basically the king of the world out here. Like, everything's out here. So running this city is not the same as running a congressional district, pretty much. And I'm definitely here for the little guy trying to, go ahead and change shit in this political system, because God knows it needs it.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
It was a long shot for him in Congress, but he did it. And, I'm sure he learned some lessons from that. He probably can mount another campaign, do it again in the 2 years. This is 2 years for the representatives. But in New York,
29,999 other people trying to do the same thing.
Something like that. Yeah.
So fuck it. Why not?
Why not? Why not be the one? If you do it, more power to you. But I'm just saying, baby. Like, it's different. It's different.
Slim.
It's different.
Slim. It's different.
It's different.
It's a
here.
different animal.
But
Running for mayor is different.
shout out to Paper Boy Love Friends for doing
Okay.
that. You already know what it is.
Word.
Want to shout out Jay-Z and Mary J. Blige. They are up for their nominees for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for 2021, being, the next inductees. They're nominees right now.
Okay.
And I mean,
Do we have a hip hop Hall of Fame? Like, does that exist? I know there's been talks about it, but I don't know if that's a thing yet.
We don't have a thing.
Okay.
I think the closest thing is the shit that Ralph McDaniel started. He has a whole museum dedicated pretty much
Okay.
to pretty much
Video Music Box Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Hall of Fame, but it's a whole exhibit. Shut up. But that's kind of like the thing we have to like celebrate what we do in hip hop and where it's come from and all of that shit.
We definitely need a hip hop Hall of Fame.
We definitely should have
specific
that.
hip hop Hall of Fame. But that's dope. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is like, I feel like that's kind of like the Grammys for me now. Like, that's the Grammy equivalent as far as like retiring or getting your shit like a Walk of Fame type, a star on a Walk of Fame type shit. It's like, that's cool. It's great to get that general acknowledgement, but we need a specific hip hop Hall of Fame where it's
definitely agree with that.
If you make it into here, like, my G.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna be able to acknowledge the people that not necessarily gonna get acknowledged by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because they just don't know. They ain't gonna know everything. You know what I'm saying? They're not entrenched in the culture. But we need a hip hop Hall of Fame. And then it would be interesting if we have like a little out hip hop tier or a Q+ tier. if that ever
Man,
Can you imagine though?
It could happen.
It could. Listen,
you just put it out there. You just put it out there.
I definitely
so guess
did.
What?
I feel like I'm the first one to speak this into existence, and ain't nobody, you know,
and you
what I'm
on
saying?
camera
And it's
with
recorded.
it.
So
guess what?
Mark my words.
All right.
Biatch.
Let's see what happens. 20, 30 years. Let's see. I'm checking in. I'm saying I better get my shit.
Hey,
Nah, I'm playing.
listen.
Are you into country music? How do you feel about
Not
it?
necessarily. I mean, I always had I always liked Garth Brooks. I always thought he was like kind of cute. You know, I like the little. I don't know. I got something for the little country boys. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you do.
I loved when fucking Hootie and the Blowfish came out, especially because they had the black representation in the country. He was like the first motherfucker that you know that like picking up a guitar that had the cowboy hat and was doing country. I like shit like that. I like stepping out of the box, but I can't tell you the history of no country. Like, I don't know no albums. Like, I ain't, nah. I'm a casual listener at best.
Okay, I feel you. You. I'm pretty much in the same boat. Some of them country acts could definitely get it.
Yeah,
you already know what it is.
Know, other than that, it's like
country music historically. Okay, here's why we're talking about country music. There are two country acts right now who are kind of making headlines because they are the two first openly gay country acts.
Whoa. Outside of Lil Nas X.
Outside of Lil Nas X.
He freaked the system.
You sure? You're right. And actually, let me take that back. They're not first. They're definitely not first, but they're two of the more notable ones that's kind of like, you know, putting themselves out there, kind of announcing it right now.
Dope.
So, yeah, aside from Lil Nas, and I'm gonna talk to you about exactly the whole Lil Nas X situation because I got a whole spiel.
Let's get into it.
But the two guys that have announced, you know, pretty much that they're out of the closet, and it's not really an announced thing. It's kind of just like they're starting to talk about it. Waylon Payne, and T.J. Osborne. Okay. So
two solo artists.
Well, no. One of them is a solo artist, and one is part of the Southern rock group, Brothers Osborne. So it's basically him and his brother.
Okay.
And the guy that is out now, he's basically the guy that is the front man. He's the singer.
Okay.
And you know they both produce the music together.
Dope.
So Waylon Payne, though, he is originally from Nashville, Tennessee. He's the son of country singer Sammy Smith and guitarist Jody Payne, who was part of Willie Nelson's band. So that's kind of like how you can see. And I know some of the names might kind of throw you off, but I'm going to do my best to at least
Willie Nelson is that nigga. Like
Willie Nelson, you might know.
You should know who Willie Nelson is.
One of the most progressive, country artists to be. So he is coming from that lineage. That's Waylon Payne. He kind of had an addiction issue that kind of sidetracked him. He's kind of a part-time actor. So he kind of went through a bout with his addiction. And his latest album, which is how I discovered him, Blue Eyes, The Harlot, The Queer, and The Pusher, which kind of really talks about pretty much putting his whole story out and using the songs as kind of a way to heal from all of the trauma that he has been through, a long time of dealing with addiction and kind of being disowned by his own family. So he came up under Willie Nelson, his father. His father and his mother divorced. They weren't able to raise him because they were working a lot. So his aunt and uncle raised them, but they disowned him when they found out he was gay. So he ended up kind of schlepping back to his father and kind of like living that life and getting introduced to drugs and getting introduced to the fast life. So that was kind of his thing. T.J. Osborne. Well, the Brothers Osborne are pretty much a big country band.
I feel like I heard that name before.
Yeah, they're up there with like Lady Antebellum and
that kind of
Maren
company.
Morris and what's Casey Musgraves. He's in that tier. You know what I'm saying? They're in that tier of country artists, which basically are your pop equivalents. Those are your Taylor Swifts. Those are your name of big pops are Cardi B.
Yeah.
Those
Katy
are
Perry.
Yeah, Katy Perry. Those are your equivalents. Those are the ones that I'm talking about. So T.J. Osborne is pretty famous. They've had like 3 really, really successful albums. Their first song under Brothers Osborne. Forgot the name of the song. Thought it was pretty dope. But their breakout record came out in 2012. They kind of hit it big. They got 3 albums and whatnot. T.J. Osborne came out to his brother right before they signed their deal. You know what I'm saying? They're originally from Maryland, but they reside in Nashville. So that's where their label is. TJ Osborne has the distinction of being the only openly gay country artist signed to a major label right now.
Okay.
And I think that's notable because that's a pretty big platform.
Hell yeah, that's notable.
Now, here's my thing. Here's my beef with country music. This is why I don't listen to country music. I'm gonna break it down for you because it's a little history.
Yeah.
A little history going on.
Exactly.
Country music itself comes from black people. The way it was, you had people like Bessie Smith and Ma Rainey singing blues, and they were like those bitches. They were that big in their day. And so, of course, enterprising white people seeing what's going on, they like the sound. What they do is they take a little bit of the melodies here. They hire some black singers, but they will get the songwriting for them, but they don't credit them. They don't record them. Mm-hmm. So black people don't necessarily. So in their place, they get some white singers that that don't even have any. They don't even sing. But they give them the melodies, they give them the music, and they kind of become the face of this music. And so a whole institution is built, just basically off taking the little bit that they get from, black contributors and kind of really like phasing them out or whitewashing them out.
Gentrification.
You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. Almost. That's kind of really how it is. And it's so crazy. And when it's systematically disenfranchises the black people that actually contributed to the music, it ends up building the infrastructure that keeps black people out, which is why they say there's this thing that country is supposed to be the white man's blues, and
I was gonna say it sound like a spin off. They try to spin off blues, and it's the same.
Exactly, it's exactly one of those things. So
same sauce without the sauce.
That being the history, and that being like the culture. That's kind of like what country music kind of stands for. And to this day, there's still it's still an institution where there's like this, there's these gatekeepers and there's these people that, kind of really hold the line as to who gets successful. They still systematically eliminate and disenfranchise people of color who come through. Now, there are some successful ones. You got people like Charlie Pride. He's kind of like the front man. He's like he
one
was
of the staples.
One of the staples of black people who made it in country music. And you have some that come in few and far between. You got Darius Rucker, who came in with Hootie and the Blowfish, and you have a few more pop acts right now who are black. You have Kane Brown comes to mind, but they are very, very limited in their trajectory for success and what they can do because the people at radio, and country's big on radio, is a big radio market for it. Those people still, they still those program managers or the people who radio programmers, they still decide who gets played and who has a career. You know what I'm saying? It's still kind of like that. So to kind of see it still living off the legacy of what it did 100 years ago and still thrive off that industry, it kind of says to me, and it says to a lot of black people, that you don't belong. And I have to commend the people that do who are of color. Now, that are successful in country music. Now, my whole reason for bringing this up is these two people who are now out and they are now gay, they perform on that backdrop. This is what they do, and this is the backdrop of what they're performing. Whether they're thinking about it or not, whether they are, whether they're for it or against it, or whatever the case may be, this is the reality. This is how it is. You know what I'm saying? So now you have a platform where you might be the one person who is gay who might be representing for a community that isn't represented at all. So is there anything that you're going to contribute to this new demographic that you have now? Because undoubtedly You're going to have gay people that find out about you and are going to listen to your music and are going to want to find out about you. Because what's the first thing I did when I found out TJ Osborne is coming out as a gay country artist? I went and looked them up. I found their song and I listened to it. How do you think that's going to work with a whole lot of other people? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the same thing. So what are you going to do with that power now? What can you do? Are you thinking about it? Is this something that you're conscious of? Are you aware of, you know, the legacy of the music that you make a living off of?
With that being said, do you think they're obligated to think about that?
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you because I'm not them, and I wouldn't put that. I wouldn't, you know.
That's why I'm like, that's heavy.
That's the thing.
That's heavy. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
And I don't know how old they are or how old he is, but
TJ Osborne is our age, mid-30s.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And Waylon Payne is, I believe, 48 years old. You know, lived his life, and he's from a different generation. But the ironic part about him is he was already out. He was always out, even as a kid. So, you know, that's kind of the thing. That's another. You guys are coming from two different generations, but you guys have something that you guys can contribute.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's like now that you here with it, it's like, what now? Like, what you gonna?
And you got people like us, because guess what? We're open to different types of music.
Absolutely.
And what did we say? You know what I'm saying? As long as it's music that you put out and UQ Plus, we're going to find it. We're going to find you. And you might get reviewed.
You got to make a statement nowadays, man. Like, I don't care what kind of music you're making. At some point, you got to say something. You got to talk about something other than yabba yabba, jabba jabba, talking shit, blah, blah, blah. Like, we get it. We already know what that is. But, like, at some point, you got to say something. And if you're saying something, man, it's going to resonate. And we're going to pick it up, man. That's what we do is the Herbal Tea Podcast.
That's what it is. So, you know, there might be a day where we're going to have to, where, you know, maybe the brothers Osborne or maybe go solo, TJ Osborne. You know, you never know what could happen. Maybe they might drop a record. You know what I'm saying? Because now they're on our radar. And so they put out this record. And, you know, we got to dig in and look into these artists. Well, I will. And
yeah, we'll bring them up. We'll bring them up on the music segment.
We'll see what happens, because, you know, this is it. I hate to say that it's a responsibility, but it kind of is if you believe in the power of representation and what identity speaks to. And I'm very, very somebody that speaks to identity. I kind of wear it on my sleeve. I know my man EarthTone, probably you do as well.
Absolutely.
So I think it is worth addressing, you know, if you do have something to say to a community that you might now represent in a world that we were excluded from. What do you have to say to that? And that's my question to those guys. Other than that, I'm just saying, yo, TJ Osborne, you know, now that you out, you could get it. Because he kind of cute. I'm just saying. I just want to lighten it up a little bit. Ain't got to be all that heavy.
Put all the pressure on you, but, like, you kind of cute.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? He could kind of get it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like him a little red. Okay. I kind of like him a little tall.
I got to check him out. I don't really know what he look like.
You know what I'm saying?
See what he talking
you
about.
be the judge. You let me know. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is right here. So that's where we at the end of the day. I just wanted to bring that up for you guys because this is what's going on. Needle drop. This is a new thing. This is basically notable releases that have come across and I think are notable. And we definitely should talk about some of this.
Who we got?
We got Sophie. So I've been talking to you about Sophie for a minute.
Okay.
So I went and dug in. Sophie has a new song, Unisil. It came out 2 days before they passed away. And it was an unfortunate accident. The story goes that she was basically taking a picture and she kind of fell off the edge of a balcony. And they hurt themselves, and they, you know, ran her to the hospital. And, you know, unfortunately, she passed away not too long after that happened. But she released this song, and they released this song. Sophie is kind of a reclusive artist. You didn't really know too much about her, but she has a long list of credits. Before they were even out, somebody once accused them of gender appropriation. Come to find out, 2017, they come out as transgender, which just speaks to the fact that people need to shut the hell up and stop acting like you know everybody.
Always, it's like what?
And this is exactly, anyway. But they have credits with Madonna. They co-produced "Bitch I'm Madonna" with MIA, Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
Pretty big record for Madonna.
Sure.
Produced for Kim Petra. We reviewed her last year.
Petras.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Transgender artist.
Yep.
They Leaf has a production
Okay.
with Sophie, Vince Staples, Quay Dash, transgender rap artist.
Yeah, she not fucking around.
Yeah.
Well, they not fucking
So
around.
Sophie and this is just a few. So they have a long list of credits out there. They've been
Damn,
out there
that's
for
crazy,
a minute.
Man. That sucks.
And I just want to say, you know, of course, you know, when they passed away, a lot of people reached out and kind of gave their condolences.
Yeah.
So she was kind of like a, you know, up and coming star, but under the radar, but you know, doing their thing still. And it's just unfortunate that we lost somebody like her. And I just want to, you know, give, you know, condolences to their family.
Untimely.
Their joint that they dropped, Unisil, I think it goes pretty hard. It's pretty dope. Definitely should check that out.
Okay.
Y'all should check that out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Megan Thee Stallion and the Baby have dropped the video for their song Cry Baby. It's cute. It's exactly what we were saying before. It's kind of one of them colorful videos.
Video, like,
you know what I'm saying? Like a rainbow vomited all
everybody
over the
doing
hood.
same video, man.
And but this was kind of cute.
They fire.
It's in a toy store.
They're still fire.
It's
but
in
like
a toy store. They had
it's like everybody using the same template or something like that. It's kind of strange.
know.
I don't know.
I
All right.
I thought it was dope. Y'all check it out. It's out. Young and May got a new record.
Young Ma.
Off the Yak. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? That's kind of going hard.
Right in
Check
her,
that
about
out.
right on brand for her.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Kind of not messing around. She does a drill beat. So, you know what I'm saying? That's her take on the drill beat. Another video. Ariana Grande, Doja Cat, and Megan Thee Stallion once again. They're hitting us with the 34 plus 35 remix. You know what I'm saying? Video. That's out.
Okay.
So check that shit out. It's kind of cute. You know what I'm saying? Kind of low budgety. You know what I'm saying? Kind of grainy theme.
I like it. I like
low budgety video.
Yeah,
They
you
made
don't
it.
gotta give me too much. Tone it down a little bit.
They was like in a hotel room doing them.
Just bugging out.
I love, bugging out. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. Shout out to Bugs Gutter, a letter from Bugs. He dropped that not too long ago. I think it was sometime in January. I don't remember the dates, anything. But, you know, a letter to Bugs is basically, you know, telling his story. You know what I'm saying? Coming out and being a gay man and kind of just relating to people who kind of come up the way he did and, you know, have the same questions and same insecurities. And you already know what it is. And it's a lyric video as well. It's kind of dope how he did it. He was all white, you know, pink letters. You already know Brandon's on point. Arlo Parks, who we reviewed as well on episode 20 for their song Hurt. The full album is out. Collapsed in Sunbeams.
Okay.
Shout out to her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Go check that shit out.
Definitely.
And last but not least, you got the boys over here dropping gems on Boiler Room.
Who dropping gems?
And then ending up on the countdown. And not only ending up on the countdown, we in the top 5 right now. We number 4 with Boiler Room.
That's
Shout out to
crazy.
DJ. Oh, shit.
Nah, we still going. It's just low battery.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Boiler Room out. You know what I'm saying? DJ Baker representing.
man.
We out
Word,
here,
word.
number 4. And, you know,
You know, a
just
little
want to give it a
recognition
shout
is
out.
nice. It's always nice.
It's okay.
Hey, man,
It's
come on.
okay. So
Come
shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's what's going on in these streets. It's a lot. But I had to make up for y'all for last week. But that's where we at. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying?
man. Okay. plug in. I gotta unplug your phone.
All right, yeah.
And I'm gonna plug mine in because it's about to go down right as we go into the smoking section, of course. Something after something. All right. Let's get the smoking section done. God damn.
Here we go. That's what we doing in these streets.
Damn, man. Okay. So the streets is lit. It's a lot of music going on in the streets. It's a lot of drama going on in the streets. Beef going on in the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on out here.
Very much.
Well, listen, man. After hearing all that shit, come on, man. Nigga like me, I need to mellow out a little
Let's
bit. You know
mellow
what I'm
out.
saying?
What we doing?
We about to have a smoking session in the smoking section. Come on, man. Go ahead and light it up. But you know what I'm saying? Speaking of lighting it up, and you know we still in the midst of a pandemic and all that. Pandemic, as we like to call it.
Pandemic.
You know what I'm saying? Still a situation. You want to be safe. Same way you want to be COVID safe, you want to be weed safe. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be smoking no crazy shit. You don't want to be smoking nothing that's going to mess up your health, your lungs. It's already bad enough it is you smoking. You know, them backwoods is heavy. Kids be on that Fanta leaf and all that. You know what I'm saying? You
I
gotta
love
be
that
careful.
Fanta leaf. I don't get enough
It's not
of those.
bad. You know what I'm saying? But does your weed have mold on it?
Oh, man. I've
And if
heard
it does,
stories, man.
would you know how to distinguish it? Would you know how to identify it if it did? You know what I'm saying? That's the question. So you know your boy Sherlock Tone.
Sherlock Tone,
You know
back
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
building.
Came back through and all that. And we're going to get into it. We're going to check it out. So I wanted to know, does your weed have mold? Does your trees have mold? Now, cannabis, like any other plant, it has the capacity to grow mold on it. You know what I'm saying? Any other organism, it has the capacity as a host to grow mold, mildew. So depending on, you know, who's your weed grower, where you getting it from, the way they house and store the weed is going to depend on if they have the capacity to grow mold or not. Now, it usually comes about with humidity and moisture. That's what kind of brings it. That's where the mold breeds. That's what it likes. It likes the humidity. It likes the moisture. It likes the dark, little creepy place spaces. That's why your basement, like under the sinks, you always smell like that little moldy smell.
Yeah.
That's the mold. That's the marijuana. That's the mold and that's the mildew. You don't want none of that. So if your weed is moldy, it's because it was grown in a place that didn't have the proper ventilation, didn't have the proper, you know, humidity control. That shit wasn't set up right, pretty much. You messing with some amateurs, they don't know how to grow. You know what I'm saying? My first weed kit type shit. They don't know what they doing out here. They messing up the game. You know what I'm saying? Now we all know mold is harmful if inhaled. You always hear about mold, and there's different types of mold. But any kind of mold is harmful. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be breathing that in. You don't want to inhale it. You definitely don't want to be smoking it. You know what I'm saying? There are many kinds of mold that can grow on cannabis, and any one of them can be harmful. So you don't want any of them. You just don't want mold on your shit. Mold equals bad news, period. Now, while it probably isn't fatal, if you smoke it, it is harmful. It can lead to coughing, vomiting, nausea, headaches, and then some serious conditions like aspergilloma.
Say that 3 times fast.
Aspergilloma, which is actually when a fungus, you know, it develops in like a cavity within your lung. So you smoking a mold, it can expand, it can grow within your lung, and you know, take house within a capacity or a cavity in your lung, and that's a no-no. You don't want that. That sounds nasty. You don't want it.
No.
It's no good, especially for people with, you know, already weakened immune systems for whatever reason. That's even a more risk you have to smoking, you know, weed with mold. It's just not good for you overall. So what you definitely want to do is be able to spot it and be able to, you know, notice and inspect your weed and be like, all right, this doesn't look right. Something's going on. I might need to inspect this. I might need to second guess it. I might need to fall back and not smoke it at all. You know what I'm saying? One type of mold is called powdery mildew. And it actually appears, it's like a grayish white film around the weed. Now, you know, like, you could see trees and you see like the crystally, like that substance. That's called a trichome. And those are trichome crystals, and that's a sugary substance. That's supposed to be on the trees. That's good. You want that.
Yeah.
But this is more like a dull gray substance. That's more like shiny and crystally. This is like a dull grayish white substance, like a cloudy, powdery. They say almost similar to like sawdust, or like spider webs even.
I was just gonna say it looks like spider webs.
So that's a no-no. That's what you don't want on your tree. So if you see that, that's a clear sign that your shit might have mildew on it or mold. And then also another sign is like dark spots on like the green bud. So you know you got your green bud, you like, oh shit, this shit look crazy. It's got some fire, got some green, we out here. You see little dark spots or like little chocolate chips spotted. You know how you see mold on your shower curtain. If it looks like that, it's a no-go. You definitely got mold on your shit and you don't want to smoke that. And then there's also not only, you know, optic, you know, just characteristics, you could smell it. So you smell the trees. If it smells like musty or like kind of mildewy, that's a clear sign. It's like, it's probably something funky going on. You probably don't want to smoke that. You know what I'm saying? If it smells like it's, you know, like I said, that basement wet smell under a sink, you don't want to do that. Even like sweaty or like maybe like urine, like dry urine, you don't want to, that's a clear sign of mildew.
Urine, that's horrible.
You don't want to smoke it, and that's the thing. If you smell that, it's like, cause you can smell the shit. You could tell if it's like kind of funky or if it's off. Especially if you're a smoker, you smoke a lot of trees. You get used to that stuff. So you want to be careful. It can be very dangerous. It can be harmful. It's not common. Like I haven't come across it. Actually, I think my roommate one time thought he came across it, and we don't know if it was, but he tasted it. If it tasted funny, he said it would tasted funny, it smelled funny, and it looked funny. So it probably was. We ended up smoking it anyway. It was like, fuck it. But it wasn't, you know, we didn't get too badly harmed from it. But if you have any suspicions, you probably don't want to go ahead and smoke it. It's just not good for you. It's not a good look. Mold, like I said, if it's in your basement, anywhere, it's not good for you. Those are like spores that can take place in your or embed in your lungs, and it's not a good situation. You get all types of issues, respiratory issues and all that shit. So especially when we got COVID going around already, that's already fucking with your respiratory system. Let's cool it out with the moldy weed. Inspect your weed, make sure you know your dealer. Hey man, and that's it.
Got a question for Sherlock Tone.
Yeah.
So is there a certain amount of time where if you have weed long enough that it might start growing?
The mold?
Yeah.
Well, see, the mold can just grow in general. So if it's already on there, it's growing, and you just don't want to deal with it, period. That's why, like, if your grower notices it on any bud on the plant, it got to throw the whole crop away because...
it's like that.
Yeah, okay. That's why if you get a shicey dealer, they might pick out the ones that got the buds or pick out the ones that don't got no, you know, apparent physical traits and was still might be infected, but they just like, fuck it, because I don't want to waste the money. You know what I'm saying? So...
Damn.
It's a big thing, man. But that's how it's going now. And, you know.
Don't be buying no boldy weed out here.
Absolutely. But stay safe out there, man. And like always, we're just going to go ahead and end it on a motherfucking high note.
You already know.
That from coast to coast, where there's dope, there's hope. Where there's dope, there's hope. Sheesh. Wait. Is it lit?